A lot of people are frustrated with manifesting. They've tried the vision boards, the affirmations, the scripting, and still nothing shows up. Why? Because there are some truths about manifesting that most gurus don't tell you. So if you're feeling frustrated, you've done all those things, and you feel like you're doing it wrong or it's fake, buckle up because we are going to cover the truth about manifesting, what the gurus forgot to tell you. And in the episode today, we're going to talk about what manifesting actually is. I'm going to make it real for you and what it isn't. Why manifesting doesn't work for most people, the law of attraction, and why it's not the only law, my secret hack to getting in the right mind space when it comes to manifesting. And then we'll tie it all together with a grounded approach for how to manifest. So, welcome. If you are new, subscribe and join a community of money bosses in the making that want to step into their personal power, make dream money, and live life on their terms. If you are coming back, welcome back. I am Tracy, host of The Money Boss Show and passionate fan of empowering you to live your best life. So, what is manifesting? And what isn't manifesting? Let's define it simply. Manifesting is bringing something from thought into physical form where we can see it. The common myth is that you can just put something on your vision board, wish about it really hard, say affirmations, and then your dream car will appear, or dream spouse, or dream trip, whatever it is. That is the myth. And it's just not true. And that's why people think manifesting is fake. That's why they think it's not working for them, but they just don't have the full picture. So what is manifesting? We need to reframe it. And that's what we're going to talk about in today's episode. Manifesting is really creation. And when you think about it that way and enact all the pieces of the creation puzzle, then you truly begin to tap into the power of manifestation. So why doesn't it work for most people? Because money and results are created on three planes. The metaphysical, which is energy, vibration, frequency, intention, the laws of the universe. That's metaphysical, plane one. Plane two is your mindset, your thoughts, your beliefs, identity. Do you actually think, believe, and are a person with an identity that feels that you can have it? If not, you're going to sabotage it. And then the third plane, after mindset being second, is the physical plane. We actually have to put boots on the ground, show up, and make it happen, whether that's earning the money or earning the money in a job or by selling a product or service in a business. We need aligned action in the real world. And that's the mistake people make. They do phase one, stage one, the metaphysical. They just do the law of attraction, the vision boards, the affirmations, the scripting, and they don't have the right mindset and they don't take action. In this world that we live in, it's 3D, as they say. We can't just think something and then it appears. Maybe in 500 years or 10 years from now, goodness knows what the future holds. But right now, we actually have to make it happen in real life. Everything comes from having the money, and having the money comes from delivering value to somebody through your wage, through your time at a job, or through selling a product or service to somebody that wants it. So if you're just focusing on vision boards and affirmation, but ignoring mindset, strategy, skill building, and real world action, nothing changes. And you don't manifest, and you think manifestation is a load of baloney. It's not. It's just part of the picture. The missing truth is you can't skip a plane. All three planes must be engaged. It's just like if you were making a puzzle. Let's say most puzzles are like 500 pieces, and let's say you're missing one. Well, you still get a pretty picture, but there's part of the puzzle missing. It's a small piece. But let's say the puzzle, for a simple analogy, the puzzle of manifestation has three pieces, a third, a third, a third, to make 100% of a whole. Those three pieces are the metaphysical, the mindset, and the physical. So now you take your three pieces, the easiest puzzle in the world, out of the box, and you go to put them together. And then you have the metaphysical, the mindset, and you're like, there's two pieces in the box. We're missing the physical. Guess what happens? That puzzle doesn't come together, i.e., your manifestation doesn't happen because you only took it as far as the metaphysical and your mindset. But you sat on the couch hoping, wishing, dreaming, thinking, praying, manifesting, but you didn't actually take action. So it doesn't happen. Just like if you take action, but you don't actually think you are worthy of it because you have poverty thinking and you think life's supposed to be a struggle and you're not meant to have money because rich people are bad. You have a terrible mindset. So no matter how much you put it on a vision board and action you take, you'll sabotage it. All three pieces, all three planes must work together to help you build your manifestation. That's as simple as it is. The missing truth, you can't skip a plane. All three planes of existence to create money or results of any form must be engaged. Here's another secret. The law of attraction isn't the only law. So you're saying, I'm working on attracting this, and I'm doing all the steps that we discussed. But here's a problem. Most teachers only talk about the law of attraction. There's 11 other laws that are working in conjunction with the law of attraction. And they're all there working whether you know it or not. It's just when you have awareness, you can work towards making those laws work for you. So here's a few of them. Law of action, law of polarity, law of cause and effect, law of rhythm. And there's 12 in total. But here's a great example, law of action. That would be our physical plane. You need to take action to attract what you want. Because in this world, like I said, the 3D world, there's no free lunch. You don't get to put something on your vision board, do nothing, and attract it. And you'll be like, well, Tracy, I teach manifestation, the law of attraction, all of these things. And that's not how it works. You can. And yes, you can. I have attracted so many things. You can attract a friend to call because you're thinking of them. You can attract a free cup of coffee. You can attract a feather. You can attract a refund. When you start to think positively and have a high vibration and energy, you attract things to you. But here's what I like to say. When you're just working on those two planes, sure, you can bring in some big things. You can win a lottery. You can get inheritance. You can find a sack of cash on the ground. Usually you don't find a sack of cash. You'll find 20 bucks. But you can attract things without actually physically earning it or doing it. Yes. But if you want a systematic system to attract, to manifest things that you put on your board, you need to make it more of a science. You need to have a vehicle for wealth. You need to have the physical action. If you want a trip and you put it on your vision board and you think about it, you visualize it, you get the brochure, you get embodied, but you sit on the couch and you don't earn money. Let's think that through, because a lot of people think that's the way it's going to happen. Sure, you can go to the store, enter a draw, and you may win. And you'll be like, manifestation. Brilliant. Yes, you did. You also did take action. You filled out the draw, but that's easy. So you're like, Tracy, you don't actually have to work hard, or you don't have to work. Granted, yes. But let's say you fill out that draw and you don't win, and you are unemployed and you sit on your couch and nobody gives you money, and you don't find $5,000 in a bag on the side of a street to go on the trip, and you don't have money and nobody dies and you don't win the lottery. How's your manifestation going? Not very good, right? You need to put that on your vision board, have the mindset that you need to show up and you need to deliver something of yourself. There's no free lunch. You go to work, you exchange an hour of your time for that money. You want more money? Get more skills, work more hours. You start a business, you sell a product or service, people pay you. You want more money, you find more customers, raise your rates, sell higher margin products, more expensive products. There is no free lunch. If you want to make your manifestation more predictable and not just on the synchronicity level, if you want to combine the magic and the synchronicity but a little more like it's going to happen, you need to take the action. Does that make sense? And when I say it, some of you will be like, well, that makes sense, Tracy. But here's the thing. There's a lot of people that don't realize that. And maybe I'm a slow learner. I started studying The Secret when I was 20, somewhere in there in university. I got the disc and I listened to it all the way. And even before that, I had a general sense of stirring up a desire and then a vibration and excited and positive thinking. I knew about it when I was public speaking when I was younger in 4-H. I somehow knew, I felt it. When I thought poorly playing baseball, I would not pitch as well. I just kind of connected it. And I'm like, okay, I got to get excited. I thought positive, manifested, vibration, all of that stuff. But I learned about The Secret. Then I realized that my mind truly was the driver of my life. And then I just rely on The Secret. And then maybe I wouldn't take action. And I'd be like, oh, well, I'm not manifesting. I'm not making money. Oh, okay. I got to have the mindset that I can do this and show up. And call me even slower. I'll name it because there's so many people that think manifestation doesn't work, but it's because we think it's just magic versus the boots on the ground, the do with the woo. I also started a media company 17 years ago, and I was learning about this. And then I would sell, do cold calls, email, and make sales. And then there'd be times when I stopped making sales because, like, stopped selling because who wants to cold call? And then you just get busy. And then all of a sudden, sales would drop or sales would still come in. And it would be people I didn't even sell to. So I'm like, it's a manifestation. And it probably was. But I also had the physical. I was doing the action. I was present. I was a media company in agriculture where people were searching to advertise their company. So I was doing it, even though maybe not every sale I physically connected with, and they came to me. So it was beautiful. In university, I won scholarships. I filled out applications, but it seemed magical. And a lot of it was. Refunds came. I just had this energy and frequency of money. And at times it just seemed like the magic carried me through. And then you stop doing the physical, and then results would slow down, or my mindset would get negative about what I did. And it would just pull my whole game down. So I have spent, since I'm 20 and I'm 43, so 23 years and more, learning about the science of getting rich, the law of attraction, the secret, the power of positive thinking, that your mind controls your reality. But it took me a long time to piece together. And I feel so slow saying it, but I'm sharing this in a genuine way because if people are trying to manifest and all the gurus out there are saying, put on the vision board, affirmations, and just hope it's done, but you're not really having the mindset that you deserve it and you can do it, and you're not thinking strategically that you need to make the money and then show up, you're not going to get the results. So although I feel a little sheepish saying it, I like to think I'm fairly smart and keen. And it took me a bit of time to realize that, well, you can just manifest through the metaphysical and magic happens. The universe will conspire when you're in the game doing the business. Then the universe will happen to send you a bonus sale that you didn't earn, so to speak. And then it pumps you up. It gets you excited. You believe in the magic. And then I realized that I got to stay positive because that's my vibration and frequency. And from there, I can sell. If I didn't feel good, I didn't really feel good or take the actions. And it's like my poor vibration didn't go anywhere. Where if I had a great vibration, I was thinking positive in the game, everything worked. And then I was physically doing it, selling, connecting, networking. It took me a long time. I wanted to start this show when I was learning about The Secret. I wanted to be Rhonda Barnes. I wanted to be Bob Proctor. When I was 20, I'd listen to their YouTube videos. I wanted to be them. This channel was a dream of Tracy when I was probably younger than 20, but never in my life did I think it was going to happen. I had hoped, nor did I think it would take this long, but I've been on my hero's journey of learning and then of starting a business and of then playing in the three planes and realizing what does what. And the fact that you actually fully need all three planes if you want the most amount of manifestation to happen. It took time. I needed to be able to piece it together. I needed to learn how to make money, build a business, fail, succeed, realize that I needed to do it all. Because had I started this 17 years ago, I was not ready. I was starting my money journey. How could I talk to you guys about being a money boss if I was not a money boss? 17 years ago, 8 years ago, when I started my podcast for my main media company, I do a agriculture video and podcast show, very similar to the Money Boss show about farm business. When I started that show, I wanted to start this one too. But I was at the peak of learning to be a money boss. That is when my company really took off. 17 years, so then take away 9 years. It took a long time to build the platform, build the awareness, compete against media giants, build these contacts, get traffic coming to my website, make all the mistakes, learn the systems, learn the wording, continue to sell, follow when the clients went to new media agencies. It took a long time. I made money all of those years, but then it really started to explode 9 years ago, kind of when I started my show. It was innovative, it was new, it gave companies another way to talk to farmers via video and podcast format when I interview them. It gave me new revenue because I was adding more opportunities to farmers and my clients. I wanted to start the Money Boss show, but I was really at the peak of learning how to build a company, how to sell, how to scale, how to hire, how to fire, how to do all of these things. The main lessons I have learned about making good money, about building assets, about investing have happened in the last 8 years. I've learned how to podcast. I've learned how to vlog. I've learned how to do this. I have walked my personal journey, my business journey, my money journey, and now I sit here starting the Money Boss show. It's been up for a while and I didn't quite have clarity, but I took a step here and there. I'm going to say this time last year, 2 years ago, was when I said, I'm doing this. This is one of my callings in life. I couldn't shake it. And then I would say last fall is when the knowledge, the wording, how to explain it, what I felt people needed to learn, the pieces came together to help me teach you. So what am I saying? It takes time to learn this. I offer this now through the Media Boss show, the Media Boss show, the Money Boss show, to help you shortcut it. So when you think you can just manifest and put it on your vision board, I want you to know that's not the way it works. Why do the gurus tell you that? Because it's sexy to say manifestation, quantum leap, and leave you with that. Because I didn't then go on to tell you that you need to overcome limiting beliefs and put new knowledge and think you can, and spend 80% of your time working against the mindset that you were conditioned from 0 to 7 years old that said you can't do it when you want to do it. That's not sexy. And then I have to go on and tell you that beyond the metaphysical and trying to manifest and put it on your vision board and affirmations and scripting, besides that, and then all the mindset stuff that you have to do to keep what's between your two ears on straight every day, come good or bad, I then have to tell you that you got to get the boots on the ground and you got to show up and you got to earn it. There's no free lunch. How unsexy is that? I imagine I could just do quantum leaping videos, manifesting videos, law of assumption videos, and not tell you the rest. And my channel would be a lot more popular. But I'm not going to do that to you because I'm on a mission to actually bridge the woo, the do, the three planes, the metaphysical, mindset, and physical. And unless you do all three, manifestation doesn't work. And here we are. So my point to you, the laws are part of it. My hack, substitute the word for creation. Substitute the word creation for manifestation. As soon as I learned that, it now became more about action on my part versus the word manifestation seems very passive, like I don't need to do anything, like the gurus will tell you. So when you think manifest, think create. When you think attract, think create. When you think quantum leap, think create, and you're closer to actually getting your manifestations than versus the thought process of manifestation. Cross your legs, meditate, affirm your wealth, see it in your mind. You need to do all that, but you need to create. Manifestation is taking a thought in your brain and making it real in the world. Well, what is that? Creation. Manifestation is the mental level of creation. And then you need the mindset to enable that, to make yourself show up and actually physically create. So when they say manifest, think create. And while I'm sure every guru on this subject are probably up in arms, they shouldn't be, because this is the woo and the do bridged in how to make manifestation come from the blueprint, the thought, the dream, the goal in your mind is how to actually make it real in the real world. And that's the part that's missing, the two other planes. So as soon as you hear creation, you swap manifestation for creation, you instantly think from magical thinking to practical creation, don't you? And then you're like, oh, I got to create what I see on my vision board. Oh, okay. That makes sense. Versus I got to manifest it. So it's coming. I was clear. Maybe I'm slow. I was unclear. Sorry. I meant to say unclear. I was unclear. And I don't think I'm the dullest crayon in the crayon box. I think I'm pretty clever, but maybe I was slow on that one. But being a little sheepish here and a little vulnerable, I honestly don't think I am the only one, because most people try manifestation and it doesn't work, right? Why doesn't it work? Because we don't have all pieces working together. So let's bring it home and do some steps to actual manifestation in a grounded approach. Clarity. What exactly do you want? That is like if I told you, somebody told me, Tracy, hey, can you drive to that spot and drop off that thing? Oh, okay, I can get in my vehicle, but where do you want me to go and what do you want me to drop off? Oh, don't worry about it. Get in your vehicle and go to that spot and drop it off. If you don't have a specific goal, that's what you're doing to your brain. Your brain is a missile that will absolutely seek the target that you give it. So if you say, I want to start an online business, your brain goes, oh, excellent. I'm going to start paying attention subconsciously and consciously everywhere I see something. And then we're going to be alerted consciously to steps you need, to books, to podcasts, to video. But if you just tell your brain that you want to go somewhere and you want to make money, a little vague. Now, let's use that analogy. Tracy, get in your truck, go to your local city. Can you pick something up from UPS and bring it to my home? Because I don't have a vehicle. By the way, my address is. The more specific you can be, the more specific of a target you give your brain. Your brain is a success seeking missile. Give it concrete steps. It says, your wish is my command. Let's do this. Give it confusion. It will spin. Do your brain a favor. Clarity. Set concrete goals. Align your beliefs. Like I said, second plane is mindset. You need to upgrade your identity, thoughts, and emotions to match what you want. If you want a rich life and you have poverty thinking and you don't think it's for you, no matter how hard you try, if you can get yourself to try because it doesn't match your identity, you will sabotage it. Like the NFL players that get great wealth. They come from poverty or middle class or struggle. They have not learned wealth consciousness. They want to belong to their family, community, herd. We love to belong. They get money all of a sudden. They blow it because their identity is a poor person. Even if they became rich overnight, they're still a poor person in the mind. So they will do everything possible to become a poor person in reality again because it will match their identity. Unless they get money and they're working on their thoughts and beliefs and identity at the same time. Insane, isn't it? But here's the thing, our brains are not logical. They're emotional. And if your emotions say, having money is bad because all my parents talk about is how greedy rich people are, and you just became a successful business person, sports person, investor, you're going to be embarrassed. You're not going to want to tell your parents that you have money. You want to belong. You want to be accepted. Are you going to wreck that wealth? Why do you think millionaires and people that get successful overnight tend to lose it? They're not ready for it, and it goes against their identity. So align your beliefs with what you want. That is 80% of the journey. Plug into the laws. Like I said, there are 12 laws working around you, whether you know it or not. They're working for good or bad, depending on your level of awareness and how you are using those laws. Again, they're there. Even if you don't acknowledge gravity, you jump off a roof, you fall. Even if you didn't even know the word gravity, it's still there. The laws are there, whether you know it or not. Learn them, use them, and the universe will conspire to help you once you get in the game. Take inspired action. You need to move in the physical world. Money, business, career results come from the steps you take. On the journey, let's say Manitoba to California. See, we get stumped because we don't know how we're going to do it. And we think we need to know everything. And then we freeze up. And because we don't know the steps, we're like, I'm not meant to do this, so I better not do it. And then you just freeze up. When you set your GPS from Manitoba to California, there's a lot of road to cover, a lot of stops, a lot of different things that are going to happen, planned and unplanned along the way. But if you were so busy trying to think of what the road conditions were in Nevada, you'd be distracted. You need to be paying attention to the road in front of you. A moose just crossed in front of you while you were going across the border and you hit it. My analogies are rich. You need to see the next step and act on it. Just like your car driving at night. Your car doesn't light up the whole street, all highways right to California. You'd blind the world, and it's physically impossible for a car light to do that. But the same analogy, if you want to start a business, there's going to be a next step, and you're going to have a good idea, or you'll research it. Take the next step. Then the magical part is sometimes, either through thought or synchronicity, a book comes across your awareness, a podcast, a video, and you just take the next step and the next step. You drive the next mile, you drive the next mile, and then you're in the next state, which is the next level of your business. You got all your social media and then your websites, and then you're posting. And then all of a sudden you're like, okay, I can do more than just posting memes to my social page. Maybe I'm going to get on camera and do a video because I really want to start a YouTube channel, but I'm scared. And then you do it. And then you suck because you always do when you're new, right? Anything. It's part of the process. You start a video and then you take the next step and you get better. And then slowly but surely, the next step, the next mile on your highway is illuminated with your lights as you go. That's the part people don't understand. And as long as you don't stop driving, you might get a flat tire. Oh, well, now you have some downtime. That could be very similar to something bad that happens in life. You get sick or a crisis, and it takes you off your path of starting your business. But as long as you don't stay in the shop like your tire getting fixed, you drive out, you get back on the road, you pick yourself back up, and you start. As long as you don't quit, you're going to end up in California. You're going to have your own business. You're going to monetize. You're going to scale. As long as you don't quit, you're going to learn. Take inspired action. You don't need to know the full map. You just need to know the next step. Stay consistent. Follow the momentum. Like I said, the next step, you'll always be given it, or you'll think about it and then you take it, and then guidance will come. Or you'll be like, well, that didn't work. Let's try this. So follow the momentum and then keep on going and don't quit. I hope this helped. If people understood this, they would understand why manifesting hasn't worked for them. So the truth about manifesting, it's not broken. The teaching is. Most gurus left out the other parts of the equation: the mindset, the physical, the action, the mindset, the universal laws, above and beyond the law of attraction. When you stop wishing and start creating, manifesting finally starts to work for you. I hope this has been valuable. To me, that is the secret right there. And if you just listen to this and follow the steps, you will, air quotes, manifest, create what's on your vision board, your dreams. That is it. That is the caramel secret, friends. If this gave you any aha moments, if you want to drop a comment below, I'd love to hear from you. Thumbs up, a heart. Hey, Tracy. It's always great to get comments to know that this content is impacting you and it's been valuable. Head over to the Money Boss Collective if you are not part of our community of eager money bosses in the making, people that want to step into their personal power, make dream money, and live life on their terms. I do. You can. Let's see you there. Bye-bye.